February 2013. Here's my view on violence in television just a couple days after watching the Super Bowl, which is extremely violent. It's the most popular TV show, not even in America, but in the rest of the world, and it's like a very violent sport. I played football. I still have a shoulder injury from football. I was a pretty good player. I loved the game wholeheartedly. But you know what I mean? It is a violent sport. But this is just jumping on a recent episode of Banshee. So Banshee is this Alan Ball created show that basically it's about a guy who's escapes from prison, and he's interpreting like he's becoming a sheriff in a small town in Pennsylvania. And basically, my girlfriend really got me alarmed here, and I think I'm worrying about myself. This is why I'm giving this commentary, because you have an episode in episode 3 where basically there's this guy who's an MMA fighter, and he violently rapes. He's a black guy. He violently rapes a white girl in his trailer, and you see it very violently. You see the blood. She's naked. It's just like it's a very horrific rape scene, and it's very all-out rape. And because these guys are such great filmmakers, they really show the realistic element of this rape scene. And the question is that I was watching with my girlfriend, and she was very outraged by this scene because she didn't see it happening, and it's like stuck in her head. And it's a television show. Yes, it's a cable television show, but there was no like warning that this scene was going to happen. And for myself, I have to admit, it's just like I'm so used to violence and I'm so used to seeing things. I watch so many movies that I never really gave it a second thought. But then I'm realizing in hindsight, are we in trouble here as a society? Like, is things getting too violent? Like, this is an all-out rape scene, and I don't mind raising the bar. I'm all about raising the bar and like pushing things further. But what's the line, or is there a line, or what's the next thing you do? Where you saw basically someone get raped in this show, and like, why are they showing this? They can argue that it's the story element to the episode, and I can argue that too, that it had to set up the plot point that this guy raped this girl so violently. So then when the scene where they fight off where they have the big showdown in the end, that he gets what he deserves. But do they really need to show in that graphic detail? And who's being entertained here? You know, there's some people out there that basically love this kind of stuff, and it's like, what's the next level? There's going to be incest like rape, or there's going to be like child rape that we're going to see on TV. It's like I just didn't think that even when I was a kid that this something would happen. I'm a child of Generation X. I watched Tarantino films. I watched Pulp Fiction. I was like, it was very violent, but I didn't mind it. That's just the generation I come from with the video games and things like that. And I remember my friend George's dad basically being so outraged by Pulp Fiction because he just thought that we're desensitizing ourselves as a society. And basically it just got me thinking, like my cameraman John, we were talking about Clockwork Orange, about how he was making an anti-violent movie, but of course it got misconstrued by a lot of people, and they actually became the characters in the film, and they went on their own murder rampages. All I gotta say is that I don't know where we are, like we're basically seeing that thing on television and not being prepared for it. There's something like Django Unchained where you're going to be prepared for watching this film. You know it's going to be violent. You know it's going to be some crazy stuff going on. But this kind of Banshee scene where I'm scared of myself because I didn't even think about it a second thought. But you see all these women, you can blog about it. The episode, thousands of people are outraged by it. But at the same time, it's adding to ratings because people liked it. So I don't know where we are. That's my commentary.